Am I live? Am I here? Do I exist? Hello? Hello, hello? Welcome home. Looks like I'm live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Peak. I am your host, Soul, here once again to climb the unclimbable. And also play Peak. Had an interesting conversation with my ma just a minute ago. Uh, which very justifiably pointing out, like, yeah, I'm being a bad roommate. I'm slacking on a lot of the stuff. And even though that's because I'm a bit of a wreck right now, stuff goes on with everyone, and I need to communicate that if it's getting in the way of things, as opposed to just hiding in a corner. Uh, which is a good point. So that was the last, like, hour or so of my day? And before that, I was doing something, I know. I don't remember what I was doing. I was playing a incremental game. That was on my things. That's not what I was doing. Oh, back to Game Jam stuff. Pseudo, like, mentioned direct to us when we were like, hey, we beefed it real hard on the Game Jam stuff. Uh, and was like, oh, did you beef it? Did you really? So as long as we get the page up before 3, we can issue corrections and such until, what, noon tomorrow, I think? And that can be as substantial as we'd like. The deadline today is just the submission deadline. And we will have the 24 hours after that point to figure other stuff out. Is it a good idea? No. Will it be a low stress situation? Also, no. I don't have an upside. I was trying to think of one for a second, and it didn't come to me, so. End of sentence. Turns out we have like a weekly planner thing. Like a sticker, like a dry erase magnet that just has like the weeks on it, which insanely helpful. If I had known we had that, I would have been using it more, I think. I like to think I'd have been. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have. Who knows, really, but I'd like to think. Also, I just refilled my meds container. And I would like to put in an order about things, so I need to hit CVS like tomorrow. Let me just log into this patient portal and put in a prescription. Quest refill. I think that's all I need to refill. Next. Submit. Back to homepage. Now, I think that'll get filled by tomorrow. So, yay! I'll be able to pick up more than just my ADHD meds tomorrow. And on that note, let me go ahead and take my meds. I will be taking them with a Lost and Found Energy cream soda flavor. If any of you at home have meds to take, I would recommend you do so as well. Oy. Blah. Alright, my throat's all dry. I guess it's just nerves. It's a bit rough to hear the, like, hey, this is kind of a bad roommate situation. It's tough to hear, but I didn't need to hear it, so... I've got a tendency to, get in my head about, like, helpful things that I try to do. And my brain will, do its best to dissuade me from doing anything helpful or productive. Mostly by seemingly trying to convince me that I secretly did a bad job and everyone hates me for it, which is annoying at the very least. Like, I can say pretty definitively, there are a lot of situations where I'm pretty sure I've done a pretty good job, actually, but just because there was no one, like, literally saying that direct to my face, yeah, I just didn't, like, yeah. My brain doesn't like to admit that I've done a thing well. Which is wild for a lot of people, to hear just as, like, a thing. Where my brain will try its damned best, to convince me that I have failed in situations where I have, like, objectively succeeded. But yeah. We're gonna see. We'll see. We'll see how things work out. I don't want to be too optimistic, because that feels like cursing it. I don't want to be too pessimistic, though, because that feels like me trying to talk myself down. So, we'll see. In the meantime, I've got to run the daily peak, and I also have to make an itch.io page by, like, 3, and I've never done that before. So, know that that's gonna be kind of in the background. Just the whole time. I'm gonna be web exporting just the kind of awful variant we've got going on. Um, or I'm gonna be doing that after this, but also after doing some vacuuming. Cause my ma pointed out that hasn't gotten done in a hot minute, which she's very right. And today the dog is at doghouse, and one of the like many reasons that I feel bad about vacuuming is that it spooks the dog. And I sit there and I'm like falling on my sword, like, I'm so sorry, buddy. It's a standard fare. But yeah, notably, I'm gonna be, because it takes like 15 minutes. It's not a long task. I just have to interface with the loud machine, which scares the dog and also scares me. Because I don't like loud noises, but you know. It's not like a whisper quiet vacuum exists that would like meaningfully assist in that, you know? I've got my noise canceling headphones. It's fine, I can put up with it. I don't know, my brain always makes it out to be a bigger task than it is, too. Like... eh. Plus, one of the big issues with me not getting much done is, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard over the last couple weeks, I've been a exhausted wreck. I've been pointing to the game jam, but that's just, like, the big thing on my plate. And it's not like I've been doing that very well. Granted, maybe I'm doing it better than I'm giving myself credit for, but I have gotten a decent amount of writing done. But still, ugh. Been a bad time. Playing a lot of Barony recently, though. Which is fun in a kind of deeply masochistic way. You do a lot of dying in that one. In case you're curious by what I mean by fun in a deeply masochistic way. Blech. But yeah. Also, new incremental game in the background. That's incredibly fair. It is objectively better than a lot of other forms of cleaning, I will give you that. Main thing is, I don't mind getting my hands wet or anything. It's one of those weird... I don't mind getting my hands dirty. The biggest problem that I have with any cleaning thing is noise and the prospect of getting my clothes wet. Because I don't care about, like, getting stuff on my hands or anything. Or a little bit, but, like, on a surface level. Like, it's not like a deeper revulsion or anything. It's just like, oh, this is gonna be unpleasant, and I can do it. Like, it's not like my brain is like, ooh, hot stove, hot stove. Yeah. Like, if I see a pit of mud, I can, generally speaking, be like, oh, pit of mud, and then I can put my hand in the pit of mud. It's one of those. It's why I'm probably, like, one of the better picks for doing dishes. The main thing is just I dislike temperature and volume as my big things. I like to be in cold environments and I like to be in quiet environments. Specifically quiet environments where I bring my own noise to the party. Because if a room is too quiet, that also gives me panic attacks. Both too loud and too quiet are issues I have, which sucks. It's kind of easy to get either extreme. Yeah, yep. That's fair. I don't have issues with feeling unclean because my brain is already convinced that I am a scion of filth. So it's one of those, like, the mess didn't come from this and it was never going to wash out, you know? My brain is like, no, the dirt is inherent. It's deep. Rubber gloves also do that to me, but again, I have the thing of, I don't mind if my skin gets wet, but if my clothes get wet, I freak out. And I don't mind if my skin gets wet, because, that filth was never going to wash out. You know? There's just a more inherent dirt to, like, my soul. So my body doesn't, have a huge thing with, like, my skin getting dirty. I still dislike it, but, you know. It's easier for me to endure. There are... One of the fun things that I am realizing in this moment as I'm talking about this is that, generally speaking, when I frame things as, like, how easy they are for me, the baseline is, I don't want to do them, and doing them is unpleasant for me. And any, like, relative ease that I'm talking about, is very much, relative in the sense of, like, that I'm talking about, like, the amount that I have to endure, and it's like, oh, I only have to endure, like, 30%. And it's like, normally, people don't have to do any endurance on this, actually. And it's like, oh, well. Alright. How's that therapy going? You're not gonna believe me when I say this, but, like, pretty well. My therapist and I have both, commonly hit the bit of, like, okay, you've got some weird beliefs, in there, but that's not our biggest concern right now. The biggest concern at the moment is, the fact that I, am very bad at recognizing and processing my emotions. Because my first instinct is suppression, basically. So a lot of therapy is various bits of like, okay, how did that make you feel? And I'm like, I don't know. That's why I'm here. And they're like, okay, bad choice of word. Like, what was the physical sensations you were getting in response to this? And maybe we can work out what the emotion is that's linked to that. Ah, shit. That's not good. But it's mostly about like identifying my emotions as opposed to yeah, because my default is like disassociation, and I try to be more obvious about it when I am dissociating, because that's kind of an emotion. It's not really, it's a self-defense mechanism, but you know, it's an anxiety response. It is a physical indicator that I am experiencing fear or anxiety or whatever. And I have been trying to exaggerate that as well as a variety of other emotional responses, so I can better identify in the moment when I'm feeling a thing, and better signal and communicate to other people when I'm feeling a thing. Which, had a talk with my ma, apparently it seems like I'm dissociating less, which is good. That's the intention. I wasn't sure if that was coming across or anything. Where I'm sat here like, I'm trying to be a person. And I'm barely doing it, but I am doing it. See, you know. On the bright side, I'm like chipper today. I'm having a pretty good one, actually. Because I had to talk with my mom, and I feel like problems were both acknowledged and, like, addressed. So, you know. That's a good feeling, generally speaking. Yeah. One of the things is, okay, I've connected some dots. Uh... Okay. One of the points I came back to a few times is one of the things that's really helpful for me is I can get overwhelmed by the volume of tasks to do. So if you ask for help on one thing, my brain can like refocus in on that. It can be like, okay, there's all of that, and that's bad, you know? But help has been requested on this one thing. And like if I'm being directed, my brain will rebel. But if it's being requested, it's my brain is like, okay, I can help. I can support someone in need. But when I noted that, my mom was along the lines of like, I don't know, I don't want to be a nag. And nag feels like a specific word. It's an older word, but notably, I think when she says stuff like that, she's picturing her own mother in her head. and like the relationship she's had with her, and is trying very desperately to avoid that, but has likely avoided it so hard so long that it's now an absence in my life, as opposed to, yeah, because that's the kind of direction that I generally find useful for me, is the very upfront, like, okay, I need you to ask for help on X or Y thing, and my brain can refocus there. And that's like a problem I'm consistently having. Um, Probably because she's been very, very notably avoiding it. Because she's got the image of how she's perceived her mother in her head, and is going for off of that. Of like, I don't want to be like the worst things that I've seen from my own mother, but is avoiding it too hard. And now it is created a deficiency in communication, as opposed to... Maybe. So... It's the fucking duck again. Why is it the duck? Why is it the classic duck? What even adds that? Is that like better TTV that's doing that? Why is it doing that with such a normal word? It feels like aggressively incorrect. But yeah, no, it's a pretty classic cycle. I just had the moment of like, oh, that feels like a specific word that was probably brought up in like an argument or whatever. That like the word nag seems to be an important thing there. That the duck is going, haha, classic. You see, maybe that's the case, but every time I look at it, I think the duck is taking a long and depressed, like, drag on a cigarette, you know? Where the duck is like, just another day in Vice City, or whatever the fuck. Like a private eye, like a noir detective. I've been punched. It's so weird. It's so weird that there is the noir duck. In a weary sort of way. Okay. I'm glad we can agree that the classic duck has a sig. I'm glad we can agree that the classic duck is interacting with a homophobic remark. Right? I don't feel like that's very associated with the word classic, though, is my thing. Like, this duck is looking at a dead body on a crime scene. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. This duck is inspecting a murder. What's the yellow one do today? Oh, neat. Slow fall. That helps. Alright. I mean, you love to see it. That was very immediately useful. Okay. Gods. Bright side, I would like to get that first planet through. I would like that to work. I'm into the idea of that working. For the game jam, I mean. I do like the idea of having that that first like tutorial planet worked out in order to like actually get stuff working properly, to like have that foundation for the game. So I'm glad that we are being given another opportunity to get like a final push on, you know, making that first chunk of progress. Even if we talked with Digi, and very much had the thing of like, okay, we're probably not going to be done in time for this jam. Do we want to try and finish this anyway? And it was like a resounding yes from both of us. Like, the plan is still to make like at least this first star system. But getting getting the first planet at least done in time for the game jam would be very cool. Hi. Hi, buddy. Hi, Punch Bug. Oh. Bud, we're already basically on the ground. You can't push me any lower than this. Punch Buggy Green. Yep. Alright. Honestly, my own fault I didn't see that one coming, you know? That's an obvious joke for that situation. Bleh. I swear my body works fine. It all operates. My lungs malfunction a normal amount of times. No one tell me that a normal amount of times is 0 for that. Normal amount of times. Oh, I love looking at my own ass. Huh. I mean, to be fair, that does sound a little bit like how my life is going, so... That's, like, about the tone of it, as far as I can tell. That's, like, existence. I should not forget that I have a cure-all in my bag. That sounds like something that I would forget, and I shouldn't. Your sim is having fun, though. My RimWorld is modded to hell and back. So my pawns can get trauma. That's not a base game feature. That's extra. Fuck. I don't know how much applying that balloon midair did for me, but I think it helped. Also, I think there's a patch of, like, dead skin on the roof of my mouth. Which is not a pleasant sensation. You know what? I probably burnt it. Probably a burn. I'm not patient about hot food, so I wouldn't be surprised. I am realizing one of the other challenges I've had is, one of the things on the list of expectations or whatever is, doing some amount of cooking. And I've had issues with that, because it's like a thing needs to get done at a specific time, and then my entire brain and body freaks out, and I panic. And then I end up ordering a pizza or some shit. Because I can't mentally handle the amount of pressure that comes with pots and pans, I guess. I don't know. I also feel like I have a lot to live up to for whatever reason. Like, it's not like anyone in my family is notable chefs. I just think of my family members very highly, in most regards. And my brain's like, I will never be able to compete. Like, fuck, my brother's a good cook, you know? I feel like I'm a good baker, but, yeah. It also takes, like, more prep, I think. And I don't usually have prep energy. But anyway, one of the things that I've been meant to do is do some cooking. And in the conversation I had with my ma earlier, it was mentioned that, like, hey, that seems really stressful for you. Do we want to, like, maybe switch to, like, a meal prep situation? So you're not so, like, restricted by time and everything? And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. I had the thought of that. But some part of my brain insisted that asking if I could do that was somehow bringing dishonor upon my family name. Oh, that's not good. Where it was like, I don't know why, but I was scared to ask if that was a possibility, so I just never did it. My brain was like, no, Heart, this would be better if you didn't, if you just didn't do anything. Oh, well, that's inconvenient. You love watching a zombie, fully jump right next to your ear, and just kind of going, oh, well, that's gonna be a problem. You motherfucker. I can't believe you're binging my bong like this right now, man. There's two of them right there. That's the worst. At least it didn't kill me this time. Those spiders usually like to kill me. They like to be the reason I die. I had to hit my spacebar so hard. Oh, shit. Okay. I guess that didn't change much. Oh, hey, there's a zombie down here. I didn't notice that right away. Aw, we died together. Well, guess that was today's Daily Peak. Hey. Alright. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. I appreciate all of your viewership. And I will see you guys next time. I gotta go vacuum.